So welcome today to our another podcast of Powers of Alignment. What we are talking about today is very good topic. The kind of woman that will energize or drains you. So many men think that attraction is about who we can get. But the real power here is not who we can get or what we get to choose. Because when we choose the kind of woman in our life that we want to keep, the woman will either charge our alignment and spirit, or some will just really drain it dry. And I'm not talking about biologically draining it dry. The energy itself is not only about the personality of the woman that we meet, it's also about our alignment, meeting and attracting those kind of women, whether they are in alignment or not. So if we talk down to the powers of alignment principle, our own powers of alignment, the attraction starts from within ourselves. And this energy exchange between two people with partners is either amplifies our alignment or throws us off our misalignment. So I shared with you many seasons back the interaction that I have with the woman in my life. They are like, example, let's say I talk about it like a transaction. The transaction is either leaves me better, richer, or lower and poorer in energy, which causes me to lose focus and peace. I remember there was once this lady that I spent time with, and as a result, her energy elevates, goes up very high. You know, she's doing better in her work. She looks more radiant and more outward energy. But on the other hand, I realized myself, I was losing my health, losing my sleep, and I was losing focus in the work and the daily chores of my life. And this is not true alignment when I have to lose and give up myself just to amplify the other person. And we are not talking about compromising or give and take, it's really sacrificing ourselves in order to amplify the other person. And so how can we have this clarity that the relationship that we have with these women, whether they are coming in these three terms, whether there's powers of peace in it, as a result, both of you feel peace in this relationship, and there's an amplified powers of present, that we are able to be more present with ourselves, and as a result, the clarity of focus in our life missions becomes sharper, not losing focus, and as a result, become the relationship as a focus. So how do we spot the energizing trait in a woman that charges our alignment? She will have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have these 5 traits that you have to trust your gut and to recognize that, number 1, there's this grounded presence that she has. So I remember there was this lady I used to spend time with. She's very calm, very peaceful. I wouldn't say exactly boring, but there was this healthy flow of conversation that's going on, and she doesn't need this kind of chaos to feel alive. And the respect that she has for the boundaries means she respects my time. She's not someone like a princess who purposely be late to make me wait to amplify her position in the relationship, or just having this kind of big woman energy that I have to be the smaller man to say yes sir, yes sir. So yes ma'am, yes ma'am. So I honor her time, she honors my time and space, and there's a clarity of focus as we go back to our world. So the give and take, just now we talk about the reciprocity. There is always this giving. She gives, I give, she gives, I give. It's like a very friendly tennis match that you are playing around, happily bouncing off each other, but not someone who's constantly like giving and keeping count of the gift. And as a result, there's this, hey, remember that time when I was doing this, I was late for how many? You were late, I waited for you. That time you wanted this, I gave you. That time you were there, I waited for you. Whoa, suddenly you realize, it comes so naturally that she's already keeping score of how much she's giving more and using that as an emotional bait. So how does that affect you? Because it will make us feel obligated. It makes me feel obligated. As a result that, I'm being reminded that she's the one giving more out of unconditional, but actually it's an obligation. And I become drawn to be obligated to want to give back more. And it's very energy draining. So, and also growth orientation. So if the party doesn't have this growth mindset that she wants to be better, and she wants to grow because you want her to grow is to please you, and you will feel that there's this sense of responsibility that you're carrying on for her growth and her progress in life. And when she tries to do things to please you or to inspire you, it is not to expand the relationship, but to make herself feel small so that I feel good as the bigger one. And this is not something sustainable, because why do we put ourselves in a small environment in order for us to be big? If we want to grow, we put ourselves in a big environment for us to become bigger. And that's how the masculine energy can expand. And the desire, the aligned desire that she has with you and you have, she is drawn to not what you can do for her, but who you are on the inner self that is truly aligned, that draws that attraction. And as a result, you are not also attracted to the woman that can do things for you. You are attracted to her and aligned because she also has this level of inner alignment. So let's spot those kind of energy drainers that you may have in your life, but usually men who are alone and trapped in this relationship, we really cannot see it clearer. So what are some patterns? Chaos. There's always this chaos that she has in her life, whether it is with you or she just share with you. Okay, like last time I used to have women who are chaotic. Like every time when I meet her, she would tell me stories. Oh, what happened last week? What happened yesterday? I quarreled with my sister. I had a fight with my father. Or my male colleague, he was very on with me. I tried to resist. So there's something like there's this drama and emotional roller coaster going on in her life that you might not even be in it and you are just drawn into it. And mind you, it is very, very seductive because all this energy and chaos, especially men who thinks they need this kind of woman to fill up their ego, there will always be this kind of validation that we want to go in to save them, to give them care, and as a result, their care comes filled into a hole that is completely bottomless. Because for these women, they are not healed on the inside. They constantly need external validation to feel, to get external sources, whether it's from men or women, to feel that they can. And well, possibly there are some social media influencer out there, whether they are going for commercial value or whether they are just seeking kind of media attention just to feel okay. And this kind of inconsistent energy that they have, some days you can care a little, they can feel very appreciated. There are days when you give a lot, she feels that it's not enough. The inconsistency in her showing up and the energy of hot and cold. So in the old days of powers of attraction, we talk about push and pull, giving her hot and cold just to keep her in suspense and mystery. And in this alignment relationship, you do not want someone who's playing this fishing game with you, because that is very, very draining. And you want someone who gives you the kind of consistent energy. But mind you, this kind of inconsistent energy, when men who are not aligned, it is very easy to be drawn into it and want to save them from this inconsistency, hot and cold energy. And because they are very good at crossing boundaries, they will do a lot of guilt tripping to make sure that, oh, actually it's our fault, but not our fault, but somehow we feel that we are important because we cause them to feel a certain way. And when that happens, men who are not aligned, we would feel that, maybe I need to reprioritize my life to give her a little bit more. That's it. The moment when we decide to reprioritize or realign our life purpose to just give more into the relationship because she needs more. And we are not talking about a give and take kind of relationship. We're talking about a draining kind of manipulated energy that throws us off our alignment and purpose. And the attraction to this is this, because she will always want the best version of us. Means what? The top 1 minute, the highlight reels of our version. It's like she's an audience waiting for us to be on stage, constantly reading and performing to the script that she throws out. And imagine your life is a stage and you constantly need this kind of roles to be performing to please, to bring up the energy, to uplift her, to save her, to entice her. The more I talk about it, the more I feel drained into it, because it's not sustainable. What happens when we are off our script? What happens when we are laid back on our chair? Does it mean that she will be out there seeking for more thrills and validation, that the moment we rest, we cannot even be at peace? And this patterns are why men still choose this kind of drainers is because of this. There are men out there who still get addicted to the pattern of rescuing and need to feel needed. And this is easily mistaken when this kind of chaos and neediness happens and the neediness gets fulfilled. Men get fulfillment, which mistaken the intensity for intimacy. And I'm not saying that I'm the expert of identifying the difference between intensity versus intimacy, but if you know and you can getting yourself aligned, you realize that your ego is boosted every time you manage an intense situation, and you realize that you are becoming the one that can finally change her, despite her numerous relationships in the past that failed. But she gave you the feeling that you are the one finally able to change her, and she worship you like God. And it feels good to be worshipped like a God once in a while. But we are not. The only person that we can set in alignment is ourselves. And stop dreaming that we have the power to ever change someone on their inside internally if they themselves are not willing to do the work. We can be the aligned person to journey with the person who has this willingness to want to align with themselves eternally. And that will be a very strong interdependence relationship rather than a codependent one, which will constantly make you feel drained into it and drawn into it. Not that they are consciously aware of. And if you confuse this kind of chemistry, whether it is emotional or sexual, there will be this incompatibility that we know that we are trying to fit in. And in our powers of alignment practice, my dear friends, this energy audit, before and after you spend time with her, ask yourself this question. Do I feel more grounded when I spend more time with her? Or do I become more anxious, whatever the reason is? Do I have more clarity about where my life and my purpose is? Or do I always need to second guess and feel confused what is going on? Do I get charged up? And as a result, she gets charged up as well. That we want to have this fuel to propel towards our mission. Or our mission starts to be misaligned and start to focus on each other instead. And this is, if it's constantly draining, trust your gut. It's constantly draining, the alignment requires distance. Pull back, work on your inner alignment first, because how aligned we are attracts how aligned these women are in our life. And take it from the word of someone who have been through such intense seasons ever before. And the woman, as I close off with this podcast, I hope today you can take off some value and some nuggets along with you to guide you on this journey, because these are all topics that is hardly discussed among all men and brothers out there. And the woman you choose to spend time with are not just a chapter in your story. They will eventually become your energy of the battles ahead. Choose those who sharpen you and not those who strip you, my dear friends, because in powers of alignment, the right company doesn't keep you alive. It lets you remain awake. And I'll see you for the next podcast.